What most YouTube artists don't tell you is that they fabricated their whole entire art style. Of course, myself included, obviously. But popular artists like Ross Draws and Colleen manufactured their style to become popular, which means that you too can build your dream art style. And who knows, if you make a really cool style, you can become popular and recognized for your art style. So in this video, I will be giving you 3 steps on how to construct your dream art style. But stick around to the end of this video where I'm going to be sharing some secrets about art style that you might not know. To those of you who are new to this channel, hi, I'm Janelle and I'm a concept artist and I make art and design related videos here on this channel. And as a concept artist, I have worked on a number of indie games where I had to manufacture a whole art style for the game. And the first thing I do is collect a bunch of art and references that fit the mood that I want to create, or that just generally inspire me. And collecting inspiration to find your art style is typically what everyone says to do, but that's just because it's literally the first step of making an art style, because you need to know what's out there and to be inspired in order to actually make something cool and unique of your own. Yeah, so typically you either collect references with a style goal in mind, or you collect references that just inspire you. Now, I personally like to do a mix of both, and I also recommend doing a mix of both. Unless you have absolutely no idea of where you want your art style to go, in that case, just do whatever inspires you. For an example, I made this new art style recently, just for funsies, because I can never stick to one art style. And for collecting images, I like to use this app called BizRef, and I absolutely love it because you can drag and drop images from Google onto your reference board. And these are all of the references I collected to inspire this new style that I made. Well, before I made the new style. And I got a good mix of photos and art. My goal was to construct an art style that would make my alien girl characters look more aesthetically pleasing. If you don't already know, I love to draw alien girls. There's just something about colorful skin that just delicious, you know? I just can't take my eyes off it. I love it so much. Anyways, for this new alien girl style, I collected a lot of references and art to turn into this mood board. And you too can collect all the references, inspiration, and art that you need to make and build your dream art style. If you have a lot of images on your board, I recommend organizing them into little categories. That way you have an easier time working into the next step of finding your art style. Once you have your mood board and all of your references done and collected, this is the part where you're analyzing your references and figuring out what you like and don't like, and what you want to throw into your new art style. This is what I would consider the construction phase. You are deliberately building your new art style through observation and experimentation. One of the first things you can do in this experimental phase is copy an artist's style. And that's because it is the fastest and easiest way to figure out what you like and don't like about an art style. And it's also why there are a lot of artists out there that copy already existing popular art styles. And copying an art style is a great way to explore different art creating processes. In a recent video I made, I designed a character using Rhino Tuna's art style, and I hated it. Well, just the rendering part of Rhino Tuna's style. Everything else was great, the ideation, the designing. It was just the rendering process that I just was so upsetty spaghetti about. If you watch the video that I made, you will understand what I mean. But through copying Rhino Tuna's art style and learning his design process, I discovered what I like and don't like in his style that can be applied to my personal style. And during this step of practice and experimentation, the most important thing you are trying to figure out is an art creation process that you enjoy and a new way of expressing yourself that is both familiar but also distinct from other artists. This is my favorite step out of the 3 because it's fun to push and pull your art style to find a new way to express yourself, or at least a faster way to create art. For my new alien girl art style that I made, I experimented with different color combinations and different lighting, as well as facial structure to make it more appealing. I made a first pass, which I thought was okay, and I did another version with the focus on only using 2 colors, and it was not that great because the contrast of the dark background and the dark shadows just made the alien girl not appealing in my opinion. So I decided to try something a little bit lighter with a similar process to start with the basic sketch and then doing some grayscale shading and then overlaying color on top. The thing that I changed was making the shadows desaturated while the light parts saturated, which I think breathed more life into my alien girl character. And that's pretty much what you do while you're making your art style. You kind of pick and poke what you like and don't like, and you just experiment and adjust and just have fun messing around with an art style. And it's really just all about trying to find a process that you enjoy. And if you don't like something, you can just tweak it or scrap it until you do find something that you love. Honestly, this step is also the hardest to do because you really have to evaluate what you enjoy making and if you like the process of creating the art that you're making. But once you're happy with your chosen art style, it is time to self-evaluate because you can always improve on something, and stagnation means zero growth, and none of us want that. When evaluating your art style, there are 3 questions you need to ask yourself. The first, what should I do to improve my art style that will make it look better or achieve better results? This can be like a simple or big change to your art style, like maybe changing the line thickness or just different color variation. The second question you need to ask yourself is, what skills am I lacking that can improve my art and overall art style? This can be like improving your anatomy or increasing your visual library. And the last question you need to ask yourself is, what do other people think of my art style? This can be like what comments you get on social media, or maybe you can ask a fellow artist friend to give you some critiques on your art style. You need to find a second perspective to make sure that your art style is giving off the right vibes, or just making sure that your art is readable and appealing. Throughout your whole art career or art creating journey, you will be continuously cycling through these 3 steps forever, basically. So reference, collection, practice and experimentation, and self-evaluation. As long as you are continuing the cycle, you should be able to improve and be able to grow as an artist at the rate that is most comfortable for you. And with these steps, you can easily construct your own art style right after watching this video. It's super easy and very fun to get started and actually do and work through. And you can find new ways to express yourself as an artist that you have never thought of doing before. You, as an artist, should always be learning and improving, which means that your art style will also evolve as you learn and improve. Like if you scroll through my Instagram, you can see all the different art style eras that I went through. So for now, focus on making an art style that you genuinely enjoy and are actually inspired to create art with. And who knows, maybe your art style experimentation will end up becoming viral. Like for Sam Does Art, before his art became popular, he was drawing more realistic portraits until he decided to do some style experimentation, which eventually made him into the pretty darn popular artist that he is today. As long as you are experimenting and having fun, you are you're on the right path. It takes years and practice to find an art style that you are truly happy with and that also lots of people enjoy looking at. And from my observations, popular artists got popular because of their art style. It was because that they had a unique voice and a unique way of showing a familiar subject or feeling that really inspired a lot of people. If your art looks different than everybody else's, that means you did a good job. You are self-expressing yourself as you should be. But to become a popular artist, it takes more than having a unique art style, because there are other elements to becoming popular that most people don't really talk about or actually even know. I've been thinking about making a video on this topic because I myself am not a popular artist, and it's always interesting to observe popular artists from the outside. So let me know if that'd be something you would be interested in watching, because then I will be more incentivized to make a video about the magic of becoming a popular artist. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you feel inspired to build your dream art style, and otherwise I will see you in the next video.